Hello everyone, I'm Jeff Standley with Standley and I, and today I wanted to talk about the last video that I make and the rules and kind of regulations going around a product like that. And if you're not familiar with what I'm talking about and you didn't watch the last video, it was the video that I made on how to make wax melt bars that look like chocolate bars. But of course, before we get into that, my name is Jeff and I make videos all about how to make candles and how to create a business around candles. If you'd like to see any of the other things that I do as far as candles, melts, ebooks, or the classes that I offer, you can see all of that on my website at stanleyhandcrafted.com, as well as the classes at candlemakeracademy.com. Now let's go ahead and talk about this one, and that is the wax melts that look like chocolate bars. Now the last video did really well. It got a lot of views and it got a lot of comments. And while most people really liked the video, they liked the concept, they liked the idea, there were several people who had some valid questions, and that is, what kind of laws, rules, and kind of responsibility do you take for making a product that's going to look like a food product, and in this case, a chocolate bar? And of course, before I get into this one, this is by no means advice or anything like that. I looked up a few websites to get some of the rules, laws, regulations. There's a lot of stuff out there, so if you're going to make a product like this, you definitely want to take a look at the laws, the rules, and everything around that in your state, your country, or wherever it is you're going to be selling these, because it varies wildly from country to country and state to state. Now, of course, here in the US, it's a little bit more relaxed when it comes to stuff like this, so you're going to see a lot of candles that look like pies, ice cream sundaes, wax melts, of course, that look like chocolate bars, stuff like that. You're going to see soaps. A lot of things from Lush really look like desserts and candies and stuff like that. And these are, of course, all things that you want to keep out of the reach of children. Now, of course, jumping over to the UK, they have much stricter laws on stuff like this, and you can't sell anything that even resembles food or even smells like food over there. So having a product like this definitely brings on some new challenges to get through and some new thoughts that, as a business owner, a candle maker, a wax melt maker, soap maker, anything like that, it's definitely something that you want to think about. And I'll go ahead and include links to some of the articles that I found. I tried to look up quite a few things just to see what the laws and rules were. I found a couple websites in the UK that really go into detail about all this kind of stuff, and it's pretty much non-existent. So if you're thinking about doing any of this stuff in the UK, anywhere over there, it's pretty much the answer is no. Now, when it comes to the US, like I said, it's a lot more laid back over here, so I really couldn't find a whole lot. I did find some cosmetic stuff, but I really didn't find much on candles and the laws around making those. But for the UK, I did want to read one paragraph in the rules and basically what you can't do when you're making a product like this. These regulations prohibit the marketing, import, and manufacture of products that look like foodstuffs, but that are not in fact edible. In particular, they prohibit the supply of goods that have one or more of the following: form, odor, color, appearance, packaging, labeling, and volume. So what that means is you pretty much can't make anything that is not food look like food. Now, of course, again, like I said, when it comes to the US, a lot more people are really laid back with this one. There are a ton of products out there in the US, soaps, bath bombs, candles, melts, or anything like that. They look like food, and some of them are very realistic. And there are some incredible candle makers out there, and I won't name any names, but there are definitely a couple that I watch their videos, I look at their content, and there are definitely a couple people who I think are number one in the industry. The only reason I'm not going to call them out in a video like this is because this is a video talking about not making stuff like that, and I just don't want to put their name out there, but they know who they are. There are two people out there who really go into detail making candle products that look like food, and they look incredible. But I do know that when it comes to a product like that, they label that very specifically, that it is not intended for eating, consumption, anything like that. And that's going to be something that you really take into consideration when you do the labeling on a product like this. So if I was going to put this on my website, I would absolutely label this everywhere. Do not eat, do not place around children. This is not for eating, this is not for children. Really go into detail and let people know that this is not a product that's to be eaten. And that, of course, is if I intend to put a product like this on my website. I don't actually sell the chocolate bar melts, and I, of course, would not label them as chocolate bar melts. I would just call them a wax melt bar like I did in the video. But I don't currently have these on there. Like I said in the last video, this is a concept design, just something I thought of, something that I wanted to put together. But it is definitely one of those products that I would think about and how I would go about labeling that, selling that, where I would place it in stores, where I would place it on a farmer's market table. And again, this is one of those things that's going to come down to each personal individual individual maker out there. Now for me personally, I don't mind putting a product like this on my website. I think they do really well. They look really nice. I think it's very easy to keep these out of the reach of children, but I do understand the concern. So I definitely don't want to shoot down the people that made comments or had concerns like this, because it is a valid concern. This is a product that's going to be in the household. It could be left out and it could fall into the hands of kids. So it's definitely not something that I would ever take lightly. But on the other side of that, there is some responsibility that needs to be taken with the people purchasing these products. And I'm not going to put a ton of blame on them or anything like that, but it is something that you yourself, me, myself, or anybody out there, somebody would need to take responsibility for their own actions and what they bring into their own house. Now, obviously, if I have this at a farmer's market and I have it on the table, I need to make sure that kids aren't coming up and taking off the table or looking at it like it's something that it's not. But past that, and that's the thing with any product like that, once I pick it up from the store and I bring it home, it is my responsibility. And I do have kids that are old enough to know the difference between stuff like this, but I do have animals and they obviously don't know the difference. So this is definitely something that I would not want one of my dogs to get a hold of. So I guess the main point of this video is to just highlight some of the comments and the concerns that showed up with the last video, and definitely point out that this is something that you would definitely want to take some deeper thought into, look at the valid concerns that are out there for a product like this, and of course label your product so that there is no confusion with something like this. Now I know this is kind of a short video on this topic. This is one that could go for hours and possibly one that could be really good for a live session, but there's just so much to cover in this one. There's so many articles, there's so many laws, like I said, from state to state, country to country. There's a lot we can cover and you just can't do it in a short video like this. So I just wanted to address some of the concerns that were out there for a product like this and kind of bring it to the forefront. And of course, if you have any questions or thoughts or ideas on this one, please let me know in the comment section down below. And the next time that we do a YouTube live, I think this would be a great topic to bring in somebody who knows a little bit more about this and discuss with everyone. But that's pretty much it with this one. Like I said, if you have any comments or thoughts on this one, please let me know in the comment section down below. You can follow me on any of the social media platforms that I've listed in the video description down below. So jump down there, follow me on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, my website, and of course, text the phone number if you want to sign up for any of the alerts that I send out. And that number is 253-303-7968. And if you like the video, hit the like button, subscribe, and thank you for watching.